Hello, welcome. In today's video I'm going to show you, I'm not going to do a tutorial like with using assets, doing transfers and all this sort of stuff, but more of an overview looking through the application of Parallel Heiko, which is a very hyped application because many people have been using this for doing crowd loaning because you get liquid assets instead if you do lock your DOT or KSM through Parallel, not through Parallel Heiko but through Parallel Finance. But we'll be looking at Parallel Heiko in today's video, and then I'll do one on Parallel Finance as well, which is quite similar to be honest, so there aren't huge differences there. The features are pretty much the same. I mean, once you get the idea behind this one, then you're going to get the idea behind Parallel Finance as well, which is the one on Polkadot. Parallel Heiko is on Kusama. Now, just a quick overview if you don't know who they are. Parallel Heiko are a DeFi platform on Kusama. They have held their crowd loan back in the end of 2021, and they have won, and they've got Alameda who are backing them, which is a venture capital firm that is pretty big. They've got a lot of funding. They're behind Solana as well. And so because of that, they've got a good development team. They've got a good UI team. As you can see, the UI is pretty cool here. Again, you can't really tell much just by looking at the one page, but we'll be going through the different features here that they've got to offer. And apparently the simplicity of the whole process and how to actually use it is really good. And that's why many people have been using Parallel. Now, personally, I don't hold any Parallel Heiko tokens, HKO tokens, because that's the ticker symbol, but I do hold some of the Parallel Finance tokens, which are Para, the ones on Polkadot, but they're not unlocked yet. So I do have them. They're locked up basically from the crowd loan. So let's talk about these features here. So once you go to the website, which by the way you can find in the description of this video, you need to collect your wallet. Okay, it has to be your Polkadot.js wallet. I have done a tutorial explaining to you how to create a Polkadot.js wallet, so I'm not going to go through that in this video. But once you have a Polkadot.js wallet connected, then you simply see your username there with the base substrate address, which is generic for your specific account. And then of course you can use that across all the different parachains as well as DOT and KSM. So this is the first feature here. If you had any funds transferred over to your wallet on Parallel Heiko, you would see your balance here. Again, you can actually teleport tokens here from the Kusama relay chain over to Parallel Heiko's parachain, because the whole point of interoperability is that you're able to transfer these assets, be it Kusama, be it DOT, from all the different parachains and between the different parachains, as well as the relay chain itself. And you should always be able to bring it back to the relay chain in some way, shape or form. In this case, we're talking about the teleport feature. Okay, so let's go to the staking feature. Okay, this is the staking feature here on their website. It looks pretty slick here. As you can see, it tells us the APY of what we can expect if we decide to stake KSM. Now, if we stake KSM with them versus a validator on the Polkadot web wallet, the difference is that you're going to get what is known as SKSM tokens, which are the staked version. Okay, this is the liquid version, which is not worth on a 1-to-1 ratio with KSM in terms of dollar value. It is worth less. Okay, there is a staking fee as well, which they ask for, which they charge. So you need to keep that in mind as well, that you're going to be paying that when you're minting it. Okay, and that's going to be paid in KSM. And then there's the unstake feature as well, and if you want to unstake it 7 days, exactly the same as if you were staking with a validator in the official Polkadot web wallet. Okay, so that is pretty cool. You don't have any KSM. Well, I don't have any in this wallet, so I need to click deposit if I do, and then it'll give me the deposit address which I can transfer to if I'm interested. There's also an FAQ session here which tells you how the different features work if you're interested in that as well. Now, looking at the swap feature here, again, this is pretty standard with most DeFi products. Okay, Kala also have the same, Karura have the same, but of course Parallel have their own. And so here you could see that we can actually swap between Kusama and the HKO token as well as SKSM if you're interested. Okay, we do have this option here. You could choose SKSM over to KSM if you want to swap. Now the question is it on a 1-to-1 ratio? Well, no, but it is pretty close, right? It's 0.98. So there's quite a lot of liquidity if you think about it. Obviously, the more you pump up this amount, for example, to 100, if you bump it up to 100, then you only get 85 KSM, real KSM, okay, on the relay chain, just to make that clear, if you've got 100 SKSM. So it's not exactly on a 1-to-1 ratio, but it's pretty near that. If you're doing small amounts of maybe let's say up to 5, that should be okay-ish. You're still losing about 2%, so it's not too bad. But again, if you're doing larger amounts, then you can definitely feel that, right? And here you can see the transaction fee as well, which is paid in HKO. Note this, right? So you need some HKO tokens from Parallel Heiko in order to pay those transaction fees. Okay, and that's where the question may come: how are they actually making use of their token? How are they creating utility for it? And this is one example here. Now, if you go to liquidity here, you could add liquidity just like you can with any other DEX. Okay, there are different pairs available, not too many unfortunately. You've got HKO, we've got KSM, SKSM, and then you can swap, you can add liquidity between the different versions here, HKO to KSM, or if you have KSM, you could add it between KSM and HKO and KSM and SKSM. Okay, so that's the option available to you here. You can go to my dashboard as well if you've already got liquidity, and then you could see your positions and the rewards that you can earn, and then of course you can claim those rewards if you're interested. There's also the money market feature here. It's another tab, and here you could see the amount that you've earned so far, the total market size, the borrow limit if you decide to borrow, because you can borrow but first you need to deposit. If you deposit, that means you've deposited collateral which you can use in order to take a loan, okay, a decentralized loan, which is pretty cool. So that's one of the other features here. Again, it shows you the APR. If you're borrowing, it's 10.4%. And if you're borrowing SKSM is 2%, the supply 7%, and then 0% supply if you're using SKSM. And then the loans as well, it gives you the information on that if you're interested here with the APRs. And pretty much the same here for the market. As you can see, the difference is between these two. So it's telling me here that I don't have any deposits here, so because of that I don't see any of the APRs. But if I go to loans, it's telling me what I can expect here. Okay, so that's how that bit works. If you go to more here, there's the crowd loan feature. So I'll go into this crowd loan feature. We can see which are the existing crowd loans on Kusama. Okay, because this is Parallel Heiko, it is on Kusama, so it only supports Kusama. Like I said, there's Parallel Finance, which is on Polkadot. So here you could see we can contribute to the Dora KSM parachain already. Okay, if we are interested, this is the ongoing one. It gives us the rules here as well. 4 HKO per KSM contributed. If you decide to contribute to Dora, okay, you do get paid in HKO as a reward instead of the referral fee, because they do have the base rewards as well, which are 3 plus Dora. There is no referral fee for Dora if you're doing it directly through them. So that's why you can do it through something like this, for example, like Parallel Heiko. There's also the cross-chain feature here. Let's look at the cross-chain feature. So here you could see we can teleport, okay, from Kusama to Parallel and vice versa. Okay, actually we can't do, oh yeah, we can do vice versa. We just needed to switch it from here. So you just choose Parallel and then you move to Kusama. If you had some KSM on Parallel already and you wanted to move it back to Kusama for whatever reason, that would be your option there. And then you could choose the amount. Again, you need HKO for the fee, just remember that as well. Okay. And so yeah, that's pretty cool. And then we've got the farm feature here as well, where you can deposit to farm in the Kusama pool. The APY is pretty high here, 34.32%, HKO 11.34%. And then the liquidity pool, if you're supplying liquidity to on the Kusama Heiko pair, you're getting 77.4%, which is quite high. But here we go, this one here, Kusama to CKSM, is probably the best one here. 974%, which is absolutely insane here, and I'm not understanding this. Why? Maybe because of the total value locked here. It's not really high, right? It's only 7,338 here, so the volatility is insane, which means you're taking a huge risk here unless there's going to be more liquidity being added. Okay, so that's something to keep in mind here with these kind of pools. When there's not enough total value locked, there's that risk of the huge slippage between KSM and CKSM. Okay, so it's likely that CKSM doesn't have much liquidity, and so because of that they're giving us high APY to make up for the difference in price, let's say, because you're going to end up with a lot of CKSM, which you can't do much with. And then there's this one here, KSM with SKSM, and because they're almost at a 1-to-1 ratio, you're getting 35.3% here with a total value locked of over $200,000. So that's the other option here. And then there's the analytics page. If you're interested in analytics, it takes us to another external page, so we're not going to go to that. And then there's my positions as well. If you want to check your positions, if you're farming on any of the pools, you can see that here. You can see how much you've earned, and you can likely claim as well. So yeah, this is pretty much it. This is how it works. Pretty straightforward, as you can see. Nothing wow, but it does look cool. Okay, it is your typical DeFi product where you can use it for different features, but of course this is unique to Kusama, and of course the same for Parallel Finance to Polkadot, because you can contribute to the crowd loans, which you can't get in other ecosystems, of course. So it does have that difference compared to other DeFi platforms out there. So that's been it from today's overview of Parallel Heiko. Thank you for watching. Let me know in the comments below, what do you think of Parallel Heiko? Have you been personally using it? Have you been farming? If so, which pools did you farm it? Let me know in the comments below. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.